Hello family, welcome back to another YouTube video. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Lucy Brown. I surely do hope that you enjoy this video. And if you have not subscribed to my channel as yet, please do make sure that you consider doing so by subscribing down below. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new, crispy, fresh content, please do make sure that you smash the notification bell as well. As you've seen from the title of today's video, we are discussing damaging things women do to men. Yes, it does exist. It's such a sad thing that we are living in a world that is slowly becoming anti-men. We are unfortunately living in a messed up world, and it's not just only men who are messing up the world, if we want to put it in that way, and it's not all men, by the way, but there are also some women who are also contributing to the damaged world that we are living in. So in a nutshell, we are living in a messed up world, and that whole mess is contributed by both men and women who are constantly inflicting pain to one another, whether consciously or even subconsciously. While it's a beautiful thing to empower women, tell them about the greatness that they possess, how they can expect more, how they can unapologetically communicate and request the things that they desire, we would be doing ourselves a great injustice. So we are doing ourselves a great injustice by not acknowledging that at times we are the problem. At times, we are the inflictors of the pain. While we are on that point, I think that it is okay to love both women and men, and that we don't have to be caught up in a space where we're choosing between men and women who are hurting one another more. Is it men? Is it women? And all of those things. We can love both men and women and celebrate both rather, without trying to bring the other down. I just had to say that, and now that that's just out of the way, let's get right into the video. Number one, comparing him. And this goes without saying, any type of comparison to anyone is damaging, period. No one enjoys being compared, especially in a type of situation where the person you are being compared to is seemingly better than you. Comparison just does something to a person. It robs you of yourself. It robs you of the qualities that you truly possess. It robs you of enjoying process. Comparison is just a thief and a stealer of joy. And yes, at times we see instances where maybe the woman is actually comparing her current partner, to her ex. But at times we see things like women comparing their current partners to their fathers. That is a lot of pressure. I mean, at the end of the day, he is a different individual with his unique personality, and that unique personality is unique to him. I can see why some women would think it's okay to compare their partners to either their ex, their father, or anyone else for that matter. Maybe at times it can come off, or in your mind you thinking that maybe it's gonna allow the person to step up, or maybe the person will be motivated to want to change and to want to do things better. But I see where it's going, but it's just not the right way to want to encourage a person. And that's in the case if you've got good intentions. At times it might be just a mechanism or something that they learned while growing up, that this is the type of things you do and say to men in order for them to man up, in order for them to step up. You just compare them to someone in your past, and because they want to keep you, then they're going to try by all means that they outdo your previous partner. The reasons are countless of why women do this at times. Yes, his ways will not please you all the times, but comparing him to your ex, your dad, or anyone for that matter will not fix things. This is just going to make him unhappy, damage his self-esteem, stubborn, depending on their personality, or even maybe think less of himself. And I just want to believe that if you are in a relationship with the person, that your intention shouldn't be to try and make him step up or man up at the expense of his well-being. There's just better ways. There has to be a better way. There's just better ways to motivate a person. Also, the fact that maybe that might have worked in your previous relationship where you compared that person to your other previous person and it worked, it does not necessarily mean the fact that you are seeing results that it's actually a healthy sort of way of doing things. Or for a fact that you're doing this and you've never received any sort of feedback, or you never ever hear him complaining about you comparing me to A, B, and C and to your dad and all of those things, it does not make it any less harmful. Comparison, as I said, in any shape or form is just not enjoyable. Point number 2, the use of physical violence. Contrary to popular belief, men are usually raised with the idea that hitting a girl or laying your hand on a girl is a no-no. But unfortunately, there's actually some women who use this to their own advantage. In the minds of some women, it is completely okay to slap a guy across his face when he says something to annoy you. Like, it's okay for them. For some of them, it's even cute. They can even laugh about it, like, he made me so mad, like I literally slapped him. We see this in some movies as well, and it is somewhat a norm. So you slap the poor guy across his face because he annoyed you, and you know very well that he's not going to hit you back. You know very well that he's not going to do anything back to you, because he should be raised with it in him that he should not lift his hand up to a woman, right? These type of women are the type of women that feel like they can inflict any type of physical pain towards men without the fear of repercussion of their actions. At times, it's not just even a slap. At times, it's a shove. It's just physical violence that you know very well, should the roles be turned, it would be considered as abuse. We just need to stop normalizing such things. Like, it's not okay. We started off with even small kids. If there's kids that are around the same age, a boy and a girl, the girl will be allowed and excused to hit the boy. And then when the boy child responds and wants to hit the girl child back, it's like, hey, you don't hit a girl, you don't hit a girl. Which is true, you don't hit a girl, but can we just normalize, you don't hit a girl, but girl, you don't hit a boy as well. While all type of violence, physical violence that is unacceptable, we see that with men, it is less likely for them to actually speak out about such things. It is less likely for them to actually tell someone about suffering physical violence, especially in the hands of a romantic partner. Because some people actually view such things as weak. They're like, how can a woman who has less strength than you like hit you? How can you allow a woman? And all of those things. People actually make fun of these things. And so, ladies, any form of physical violence towards a man, towards your partner, towards your husband, towards your boyfriend, it's not cute. It's not cute. Point number 3, tying their manhood to their pockets. And this one is truly, truly sad. It deeply saddens me, and I believe that we need to have more conversations around this point. Somehow your manhood is tied to your pockets, i.e. tied to your money, tied to how far or how much you can provide for your family. In some homes, in some families, in some communities, you are respected the moment you are able to provide. If you aren't working, if you don't have any sort of an income, you are basically considered as a low life. People don't reverence you. People don't respect you because you aren't able to provide. They basically consider and see you as an inferior because you aren't able to provide or that you don't have an income. But the moment you have an income, the moment you have a job, the moment you're able to provide, suddenly you are now worthy of respect. You are now worthy of being part of certain conversations. You're basically now considered a man because of your pockets. And I dislike this type of thinking so greatly with my whole being, because this is life. What happens if today you are able to provide for your family and you have all the money and your business is booming or things are going great at work, and tomorrow you lose all of that? So you are a man today because you have money and you're able to provide, and all of a sudden things come tumbling down, you lose your job, and all of a sudden it's as if your manhood is being stripped away from you. About the fact that you are dealing with so much, from losing so much, because honestly, I truly do believe that a lot of men, or majority of the men, actually pride themselves in being providers. Over and above dealing with all of that, now you still have to prove that you are still worthy of being called a man, because now respect is going away, honor is going away, because you aren't able to provide in that type of way. I just feel like it's so dehumanizing, in like, to say the least, actually. Dehumanizing, because you cannot and we should not tie a person's value to something that can change overnight. I was actually reading a thread on Facebook a while back about, the struggles that some men go through. And a lot of the men were actually saying that the moment they actually lose their jobs, and the moment they aren't able to provide for their families in ways they were when they had that type of income, or when they had that job, things just change drastically in their marriages and in their homes. Some were actually saying to even the way they're being treated in their homes is just no longer the same because of their lack of being able to provide. And that's just sad. And to a certain extent, I strongly believe that this is one of the reasons some men take advantage of women that they would not be able to access, or women they would not be able to date had they not had the type of money that they currently have. You see some of these hard-working young men that aspire to date and to be with certain type of women. And the moment they get more money, and the moment they get increases, or the moment they start flourishing in whatever they're doing, they chase after the type of woman that they could not access, or they could not attain while they were still struggling financially. And I think some have truly seen that the value of a man is tied to his money. The manhood of a man is tied to his money. Thus, my money can get me anything that I desire, so they think. My money can fulfill my fetish desires. My money can basically give me any girl, so they think again. And so they're convinced that their intellect will not get them anywhere, their looks will not get them anywhere, their hard work, the fact that they're hard working will not get them anywhere. They basically just need to have money to have the type of woman that they desire. And so I think that the mentality of tying a male's manhood to his pocket is quite damaging, because what happens in an instance where he isn't able to provide anymore? Point number 5, insulting him in front of everybody. Men in general have egos. I know, but they have egos. It's just a way of them shielding themselves so that they don't come off as sensitive and not being strong. Some men take a considerate amount of time to be who they are in front of their families and their friends. And so if you are considered to be their companionship and you say insultive things about him in front of everyone, chances are people are actually going to consider what you're saying, because after all, you are his partner. They're going to consider whatever you're saying, whether you mean it or not, whether you're joking or not, whether you're trying to get to him or not. They are going to consider it. And so I think altogether, you should just avoid insulting him in front of people. Insulting Jay, to start off with, insulting is just not right? But there's a time and a place for everything. As the common saying goes. Yes, you might feel the need to address it right there and then, but at times just wait to get him alone. And I think it's important for us to note that women and men are scarred by things in different ways. And as I mentioned, that this one is a big thing for men, because they have egos and they use that ego to basically shield themselves so they're not looking sensitive. Whereas for a woman, it might even not be a big thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the fact that maybe something does not touch you in that type of way, and you're like, I don't even mind, I don't even care. For him, because it's a thing, just respect it, avoid it altogether. Point number 6, flirting to inspire jealousy. And with this one, at times I just say some women can just really be so spiteful. Yes, at times you might feel as if you're underappreciated, that he's not doing this and that and etc. But I think it's just below the belt to try and make your partner jealous by flirting with someone in front of them or flirting with someone online and purposefully showing it to them or purposely making sure that they find out just in hopes that they feel that, yeah, like you're still top wanted and whatnot. Like, it's immature. Some women actually just enjoy the torture of having their partner in distress, or having their partner like worried that you are now going to leave them and all of that. Like, that type of behavior can be damaging. It's manipulative, and it can lead a person to then develop insecurities that was no longer there. Everyone wants to be secure in their partner, in knowing whether I'm there, whether I'm not there, that you are going to conduct and behave yourself in ways that you know very well will not offend me. But now when you want to do all of those things in front of me, just to get me jealous, when I'm alone, I'm probably thinking like, then if you can do those type of things in front of me, like what are you doing when you're alone? So point number 6, placing your importance in the relationship above the other. There's just a type of mentality that I do not enjoy and that I do not like, that I've seen a lot in women. The type of mentality that I'm the prize, I'm the trophy, so my importance in this relationship is greater than yours. So you need to make sure that you work very hard in making sure that my needs are met first above yours. The thing is with this type of mentality is that the woman's needs are placed in front. So her needs need to be met first. The guy's needs always come secondary. And so as a guy, you're constantly in this type of relationship trying to meet the needs of one person. Yet your needs are probably being neglected or not even catered to at all. In a healthy type of relationship, in a healthy type of setup, both people's needs need to be catered for. The relationship should not be centered around meeting the needs of one person, the queen of the castle. And like I mentioned, guys, I genuinely believe that men do pride themselves in being providers, in providing for their woman, in taking care for their woman, and all of those beautiful shenanigans, but they too have needs, ways that they prefer to be loved, ways that they prefer to be cared for, ways that they prefer to be spoken to, and those things should not be downplayed. Those things should be taken into consideration, and not just taken into considerations, those things should be met. This mentality might seem innocent, but it can be damaging towards men, because when you are constantly chasing the needs of someone else, you can end up feeling less important. You can end up not taking care of yourself. Just the way at times that I've heard with people who have kids, that you are taking care of your kids so much, you're literally investing everything into your kids, their needs, to a point that you are neglecting yourself. And at the end of the day, you cannot pour out from an empty vessel. So while you're taking care of them, you need to take care of yourself. So while he's meeting his woman's needs, he needs to make sure that he meets his own needs as well. Because at the end of the day, if he's neglecting himself, he puts the whole relationship, or the whole relationship is now placed at jeopardy. Because if his needs are not being met and catered to, then he isn't able to properly provide the needs of his partner. And once the partner's needs aren't properly met, then the whole relationship starts to feel useless, because no one's needs are being met here. Point number 8, not believing in a person. I do think that we all have a lot on our shoulders, but when you are a head of a household, or when people look up to you, a head of a household, remember, not even only in the context of being married, at times your family looks up to you as the provider. As I mentioned, that there's more pressure on the man's side to bringing an income, or rather to be the provider, than there is on a woman's side. And so I think when you've got so much pressure and so much upon your shoulders, it's only normal and natural to go through phases in your life where you ask yourself, like, do I really have what it takes to provide for this family? Do I really have what it takes to make sure that needs are being met, and all of that? So on top of that, to then have a partner who does not believe in in you is almost as if they are stripping your confidence away from you. And so here you are as a male sharing with your partner that you've got this business idea to do A, B, and C, and they're like, I don't think it'll work. Or you're communicating to them about a proposal or whatever the case may be, and they're just like, how many times have you said that and still you've never done that, and all of those things, and how many times you've said you're gonna start this business, and how many times have you failed at it, and all of those things. And this is not me saying that at times that you just need to be a yes ma'am, yes to everything that he says, because I mean sometimes things don't make sense, and sometimes you need to be that person to say that, yeah, I hear what you are saying, but A, B, and C, like just lay it out. But don't be like a killer of his dreams, or don't like shut and cut down each and everything that he comes up with that you think that you see no future in. Like that just strips a person down of any sort of confidence that they have. Like that just can potentially strip a person of the confidence that they have in that idea. I think at times as a man, and obviously I'm not a man, I'm just speaking from my perspective and the way I see things. I think at times as a man, you are called to make difficult decisions for your home, difficult decisions for your family. And the last thing that you truly want is a partner that is just going to shut you down, or a partner that's just not going to believe in you, and a partner that's just not going to encourage you. I think this is a big deal for men, and I see why. For the previous reasons that I mentioned. At times you hear women say that he doesn't share his ideas with me, he doesn't share what he plans on doing with me, and all of those things. And maybe it's because when he did share those type of things in the past, that you used to shut them down, or maybe that he's even afraid of sharing certain things with you because he's afraid of your response to them. So just try and recognize his giftings, recognize what he's good at, recognize his ideas, and encourage where you can. Well, that's it for this video. I'm going to leave it off here. If you are a woman watching this video, maybe we should do some introspection and ask ourselves, are we guilty of any of these points that I mentioned, whether it be in relationship with our partners, in relationship with any males? If we are, we truly need to repent. We truly need to repent. If you are a guy and you are watching this video, so what's your thoughts on the point that I just mentioned? Please make sure that you like this video. Share this video with someone that you think would appreciate it or would be of great assistance to them. If you have not subscribed by now, please make sure that you subscribe by hitting the subscribe button down below. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new and fresh crispy content, please make sure that you smash the notification bell down below. Thank you so much for your time, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.